Hi, today is 16th of March and I'm doing the newscast. Plus at the end of the video I'll put short segment of entering this Skoone bastion. Remember I made a video about those bomb shelters, and I got into one which was open, so this will be at the end of the video. So let's go with the news. The headline that in Estonia they made a preventive spray which can prevent you from getting the coronavirus. That's very interesting. They're going to apply for a patent on this one. There is a big scandal in the Estonian football because one trainer, Getulio Aurelio Fredo, is getting accusations that he had been in a sexual contact with an underage girl who was at the time 14 years old. It's a big scandal in Estonia. So a little bit more about that. So let's go to the page number 2, where there is a big article about this nasal spray, which is made by an Estonian company, Icosagen AS, where they are spraying antibody cocktail from cattle, which they have developed, so you can spray in your nose, which will prevent contracting you COVID and maybe some other illnesses too. They're still under clinical trial, but it looks very promising, as it's very logical because most of the disease comes through the breathing holes in the body, so from the nose and the mouth. So that's the only way to enter. So this is very interesting. Also, there will be additional budget for the Estonian government. Will vote for additional budget of 600 million, which mostly will be loans. And also an article about how to give the aid to the companies. There is the first idea that they will give by a special code. There is a field of activity code. So if your company is in a certain activity, you have like a code number, and the first idea was that they will give support only based on that special code. So if your company is in the field of, let's say, hotel business, then you have the special code. But they are now discussing other ways because this might not be accurate, as many companies the code is one, but they're dealing in another area, or they're dealing with multiple businesses and they still can choose only one code. So this is under discussion. Also, our Prime Minister Kaja Kallas is sick of COVID. So first she was in close contact, and then she was in self-isolation, and after 10 days of self-isolation the first test was negative, but later she tested again and it was positive. So now she is running the country at home, from home. Big ad. Also, there is an interesting article about how Estonia is getting some information from the sewage tests. They're testing the sewage water to get information if the COVID pandemic is getting worse or better. So one journalist is writing about the experience, and that this method also can be used to track other illnesses maybe in the future. Also very important information that in Estonia came 8 US fighter jets for some training. They will be training until 19th of March, so 4 or 5 days, but 8 fighter jets, so that's good for our security, because we have like big neighbor, dangerous one. By the way, I got contacted lately by multiple people from different countries. For example, I found apartment rental to one nice Belarusian couple, and people from Russia are also thinking of leaving it and coming here to have a much calmer life. Also, this scandal about Jaakiola monument. Remember, in Viljandi there was a monument which at the end was not liked by the spouse of the singer who is now dead, Jaakiola, and they just boxed it in. So this is the box. I don't know if you can see it, because she did not like it, but it is kind of interesting. But this small city Viljandi got a lot of publicity around that, so this is still going on. So in Tartu there is a dispute. Should a cultural center be erected, built in a city park? And this government had chosen, or it was in discussions, that they chose 11 projects which they would support. So they would support from the 11 projects only 2, and one of which is Tartu Cultural Center. But now it's under question because of some local disputes. Is it the best place? Maybe the park should remain a park. So a little bit international news. That the US export of weapons has increased. Russian military export have decreased. I don't know. Also, one interesting news about Russia, that Russia is putting some limitations to the freedom of press even more, and try to curtail the internet. And one of the websites they are going to curtail is LinkedIn and Daily Motion. I don't think it's a good idea, but there will be elections in Russia, so obviously they don't want to have free press, so they can rig the elections most likely. Okay, the Estonian additional budget will be 600 million, and there will be built IKEA shop for 23 million euros close to Tallinn. For now we have like kind of delivery center where you can pick up your things, but now they're going to build a shop, IKEA shop. I'm not fan of IKEA because I bought one IKEA piece of furniture which I needed to put together, but it was a disaster. Those holes are small, they were smaller, so I got my hands all cut with the force I had to push to bolt it down, and then it did not stay as it should have been, so I returned it. So I'm not going to buy anything from IKEA. I don't know, or maybe if somebody, and it looked like that's very kind of too light. It was like made from not from wood but from paper. Also Norwegian this fund which invests pensioners' money, Norwegian pensioners' money, and from the fuel they are selling, their just a moment. So this Norwegian fund which is investing oil money and pensioners' money, they have sold all the stocks in some Estonian companies, Tallinn, which is the shipping company, and Merko Building, Merko Ehitus, which is in the construction business. So before they had some stocks there, now they have sold everything. So Elkogen, some company is going to invest 26 million in a factory in Tallinn, in Elkogen Ülemiste. They're going to, they want to be the biggest producer of fuel cell, some specific fuel cell technology. This is good. Also Google is investing money into free education to increase the digital skills of Estonians to 4,000 companies and persons. So it seems that the digital skills of Estonians need to be can be made better, and around 51,000 people. They questioned 51,000 people, and third of them thought that their digital skills were not sufficient. So that is good. Also, Google is donating 125,000 euro to the Estonian trade union, the Estonian Central Trade Union, also to increase those digital skills of workers, because obviously now in Estonian economy low paid jobs got sacked, so it's good to re-educate those people. But I don't know if a chambermaid from a hotel is going to be a programmer. How likely is that? But obviously it's better than nothing. Maybe she'll be brilliant. I don't know. So there is also a big article about reintroducing mink population in the nature. They're trying to do it in Hiiumaa, in one of the islands. You see, mink, and they have reintroduced 600 minks already over the years, but it's a very difficult to do that. So this is a 2-page article about that. So better to conserve the nature, because repairing is much more difficult. Okay, there is also an article about the Grammy Awards. No Estonians there, so we'll skip that. And a big article about this inappropriate sexual relation which this football trainer had with a 14 17-year-old underage girl. So that's the article, and but he has admitted that, so it's not even an allegation. But he was kind of, I saw an interview, he was kind of disappointed that he was betrayed. That's crazy. And now I'll put you this video how I managed to enter this Skoone Bastion bomb shelter tunnels. Scary. So see you in the next video. So what do you think? Should I try to go in? It's a bit scary, but let's try. It's quite wet too. Seems that somebody's living here. Electric cables. Everything is, but it is warmer here. And that's the hole. Pretty small. Let's do a few steps. Nobody's here. So pretty big tunnels. You see, it's quite huge. But okay, it's enough for now. Let's go out. Getting out is a bit difficult. So let me know, what do you think? This was kind of interesting. These are big tunnels which can bring you quite far away. It's huge. I have to call my brother or someone so we can go together, because to tell you frankly, it's quite frightening. You see, there is a sign of life, but and you don't know if somebody is there. I just don't want to risk maybe some person who has no place to live, or maybe he's drinking. I don't want somebody to hit me on the head, but you can see, I don't know, there. It's quite interesting. I think I'll come back one more time. Sometimes. Maybe today.